Hello Year 2, I'm back again, Mr. Mellon here, and I'm going to do a bit more of story reading today with more of David Williams' Slime. So from the last time, we were with Ned, and unfortunately, Ned's sister was pretty nasty to him, and she's gathered up all these jars of all kinds of gunk and slime with all sorts of different disgusting things in. So we're going to find out what happens next. The Bath of Doom. Ned's eyes widened at the horror, the unspeakable horror. The words and pictures in her books told the story in gruesome detail. So this was what his wicked sister was planning. There were lists, calendars, graphs, diagrams, and even a flick book of how it would all play out. It was called Ned's Birthday Surprise. And it was the boy's birthday tomorrow. Once a year on his birthday, Ned had a bath. In the family cottage, there was only enough hot water for one bathful a day, and of course, Jemima, his sister, always bagsed every drop of hot water for herself. No wonder her parents reeked of fish. The only exception to this rule was on her little brother's birthday. On that special day, Jemima would be forced by her parents to relent and let little stinky Ned have his yearly soak. So the plan was that tomorrow, Jemima would fill the bath with all the gunk. Every last drop from every single jar would be emptied until the bath was full to the brim of disgusting, revolting gunk. Then she would squirt bubbles on top of the gunk, so Ned wouldn't see the horror that was lurking underneath. The Bath of Doom. There was even a cutaway diagram in her exercise book showing the hidden layer of gunk. On top were bubbles, then water, and at the bottom, gunk. Jemima knew her little brother would suspect nothing. This was his birthday treat after all. Ned would think it was a lovely bath full of warm water and lower himself into it. Then, he would scream as he was covered from head to toe in gunk. Ned dropped Jemima's book in shock. Bonk. The girl stirred. Ned held his breath. Then she turned over and went straight back to sleep. Taking great care, the boy rolled himself back out of Jemima's bedroom. He had to reverse his wheelchair as, with the mountains of jars, there wasn't room to turn around. Trundle, trundle, trundle. And then, disaster. Gunk, 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 gunk. The footrest on his wheelchair just clipped one of the jars on the floor. There must have been 50 jars stacked on top of it. Ned reached out, but he was too late. The skyscraper of jars began toppling over. The jar at the top was heading straight for Jemima's head. And as it fell through the air, it was as if time sped up and slowed down all at once. Ned caught the jar just as it was a millimetre from hitting his sister on the head. As much as he may have wanted to see his sister bumped on the head with a jar of Grumblenosh, whatever that was, sadly now was not the time. It would spoil his surprise, because just at that moment, an idea came to him. Ping! An idea so simple, it was brilliant, simply brilliant, and brilliantly simple. Brimple! Ned would turn the tables on Jemima. The girl had a bath every single morning, apart from Ned's birthday. So Ned would do to her exactly what his sister was going to do to him. She would suffer the Bath of Doom herself. Ned silently collected up all the jars of gunk in the house and brought them to the bathroom. Once safely inside, Ned locked the door. He didn't want Jemima bursting in on him before her Bath of Doom was ready. Ha ha ha, chuckled the boy to himself. Outside it was still dark, but dawn was breaking and the birds were bursting into song. One by one, he opened the jars of gunk and poured them into the bath. There was brown gunk, yellow gunk, thick gunk, black gunk, thin gunk, bubbly gunk, purple gunk, fizzy gunk, hot gunk, and cold gunk. Splish, splash, splosh, splish, splash, splosh. All the gunk went into the bath. Every kind of gunk you could imagine. Gallons and gallons of gunk. Eventually the bath was full. After what seemed like hours of fetching, carrying and unscrewing, the boy was exhausted. Catching his breath, Ned didn't notice what was happening right behind him. Whatever was in that bath was coming to life. The next chapter, the Gunk Monster. As all the different types of gunk swirled together, waves formed in the bath. The waves swept up, and they swept down and down. And Ned turned round. It was a horrifying sight. He opened his mouth to scream, but no sound came out. The bath was now a raging storm of gunk. It splashed all over the bathroom, coating everything in gunk. The sink, the toilet, even Ned. Everything was gunked. Then, just as soon as the gunk had coated everything, it peeled itself off and whooshed back together. Then the gunk began to take shape. At first it became a giant egg, like the kind of egg a dinosaur might have laid. The egg bounced up and down, bang, 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 but before smashing itself against the bathroom wall. The outer layer cracked like a shell as the gunk inside started to ooze out of the shell. The oozing gunk then began to grow upwards and upwards, becoming a mountain. Now it was a volcano, an erupting volcano of gunk. It didn't shoot lava up into the sky, but revolting, grim, grimy gunk. It spurted itself and exploded all over the bathroom ceiling before oozing back down to the floor to turn into an elephant. Ooh, it hooted. Then it became a shark. It jumped. No, now it was a bird. This gunk monster was swimming and flying all at once. The boy gazed open-mouthed in awe. This was the greatest show on earth, and it was all for him. Next, the gunk monster exploded into thousands of pieces as it became fireworks. Oh no, exclaimed the boy. What on earth have I done? The next chapter is called Blobby Blob. What the boy had done that day changed the course of history. Mixing together 1,000 different jars of gunk, Ned had created a brand new state of matter. It wasn't solid, it wasn't a liquid, it was a gas. It was called slime. The world would never be the same again. This was big, bigger than big, bigger than biggest, humongous. As Ned stayed deadly still, the slime began spinning round and round and round and round and round and round. It was a tornado of slime, a slimeado. No, thought Ned, I am not going to be slimed to death. He shut his eyes tight and cried, "Ah!" Then the most amazing thing happened. The whirling tube of slime spun up and up and up over his head and slapped against the ceiling. Then it began oozing downwards towards the boy. As it did, it began to take shape. Not human shape exactly, more like a blob on top of a blob on top of another blob. It is easier if we show you. It looked like this. A blobby, blobulous blob that was hanging down from the ceiling. A huge, slimy, upside-down face was staring straight back at him. So there's the face in the blob, on top of the blob, on top of the other blob. Ooh, I hope it's a friendly blob. Good morning, it boomed. The boy's eyes darted around the bathroom. There was no one else there. This thing was talking to him. I said, good morning, it repeated. For something made of slime, it had a surprisingly posh voice, as if it were royal, which seemed highly unlikely. Last time I checked, the royal family did not have a member of their family who was made entirely of slime. Who stammered Ned. The boy was trembling with fear. I am anything you want me to be, replied the thing. With that, a blob of slime squelched upside down across the ceiling. Next, it made its way down the wall, its slimy bottom acting like a suction pad against it. Eventually, the thing was standing on the floor of the bathroom, peering down at Ned. Now, boy, tell me what you wish me to be. Is this like Aladdin? Asked Ned excitedly. Is what like Aladdin? Like rubbing the lamp and a genie coming out and a genie giving you 3 wishes. The slime looked lost in thought for a moment before replying. No, there is no lamp, I'm not a genie, and there aren't 3 wishes. Oh, replied Ned. There are infinite wishes. Wait, that means a lot, doesn't it? It's infinite, so yes, I suppose it is. Unless it was infinite and 1, which would be silly. Cool, explained Ned. So boy, what do you wish me to be? I can be anything and everything. A hippopotamus? A swarm of bees? A giant pair of bloomers? As it spoke, it shapeshifted into each thing. Just think of something beginning with S. A sailing ship, a sphinx, a sausage as tall as a tree, a steamroller. The boy looked on in wonder as it changed with dizzying speed. A symphony? With that, there was a sound of a huge drum being struck. Boom! The slime shattered into what seemed like hundreds of tiny globules. They flew past Ned, and he realised these weren't just globules. They were musical notes. As the sound of a symphony echoed around the bathroom, these musical notes danced through the air like butterflies. The boy watched in awe as they swooped and twirled in time to the music. Wow, he stammered. Then, just as soon as the symphony ended, the globules all merged together again. This time they didn't go back into being Slime's globular self. Oh no, the globules merged back into the shape of a whale. The whale was so humongous, it filled up the entire bathroom. It floated in the air, swishing its tail. Am I back to normal? It asked. Something feels fishy. No, you're not back to normal, exclaimed Ned. Unless it's normal for you to be a great big ginormous whale. The whale of slime looked down and then fell through the air. It landed like dropped jelly on the bathroom floor. And there was silence. Ned stared at it. Whatever this thing was, it looked to be no more. It was an X-thing, lying motionless next to the wheels of the boy's wheelchair. And there was nothing more than a puddle of gloop. Slime, called out Ned. He couldn't think what else to call it, and slime seemed appropriate. Are you alright? After a moment, the slime poured itself back together into the shape of a blob. Oh, that's better, it said. I felt all over the place. Thank goodness, exclaimed Ned. Is slime my name then? It asked. Well, I can't think of a better one. Roger? Archibald? Brenda? Offered Slime. I do feel like a Brenda. Mused the boy. I think you sound more like a slime. Slime it is, said Slime. He gave the boy a funny look, as much as a blob of slime can give anyone a funny look. So, did you create me? Well, hesitated Ned. I guess I did. Father! Exclaimed Slime. No. Mother! No. What then? Well, I guess we're... Well, Ned didn't dare say it at first, but something in his heart told him he should. Friends? Friends, repeated Slime. Friends, I like that, yes. We're friends. The boy smiled and leaned over to hug his new friend, but all he got was a face full of slime. You didn't tell me your name, remarked Slime. I'm Ned, replied Ned. I have a friend called Ned, explained Slime. And Slime? Yes, Ned? I'd like you to help me play a trick. Oh, goody, goody, snorted Slime, rubbing his slimy hands together in glee. On someone who's played 1,000,000 tricks on me. Just then, there was a pounding on the door. Boom, boom, boom. What on earth is going on in there? A voice demanded. It was, of course, Jemima. Come out right now, Ned, or I will boot this door down. Is that them by any chance? Inquired Slime. Now, how did you guess? Replied the boy with a cheeky smile. Okay, and we'll leave it there for now. I'm really enjoying this story. I wonder what's going to happen next with Slime and Ned. I wonder what they're going to do to Jemima. Well, I'm really impressed with your work that you've done over this week, Year 2. I love looking through it and seeing how well you've done all the different subjects you've done. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what else you can do and what other work you do next week. But I think you guys deserve a very well-earned break and rest this weekend. So whatever you get up to this weekend, enjoy it. Whether that's playing with your brother or sister, or playing a game, or watching a film, whatever you do, I hope you enjoy it and make sure you have some time for yourself and your family. And I will see you again very, very soon. Bye for now.